What do we have here? Summoner's War, Guild War defenses. First off, I think this is supposed to say siege defenses, guild siege defenses. This is not mine, by the way. This is, this list and this list have been circulating around the community, recently. This is by Pungbeck's Parrot. This is by Retho1309. I don't know these people personally, but I know these lists have been circulating around the community, so I thought we would take a look at what are the best guild. I think they're supposed to be guild siege defenses, but what are the best guild, we'll just say siege defenses, in Summoner's War. First off, the question on everybody's, well, maybe not everybody's mind, but where's all the rest of the Light Dark Nat 5s? Where's the Tianlang? Where's the Artemil? Where's the Vivichel? Where's the Yenhong? Those are the, in my experience, the Yenhong ones are the ones that make you want to quit and die. Die the game. Quit the game and die. Those are the ones that I personally, the Yenhong ones, I would love. You know what? And I'll give my input on how I would approach these, and you guys can let me know in the comment section how you would approach these, how you like to approach these things. Maybe I'll even learn some stuff. But anyway, yeah, also, if you have any input on how to beat the Yenhong defenses where they get 10 violent procs, because they keep filling up their attack gauge and then get more turns, and then filling up their attack gauge more, and then getting more turns, and then, yeah, if you figure out a way to beat like 10 to 20 violent procs from Yenhong, let me know that in the comment section. You're gonna be like, oh, Fire Lich. You're gonna be like, just use a Jolton with 100,000 HP. Yo, that's genius. Jolton with 100,000 HP. Anyway, so let's get it started. But yeah, I'll tell you guys how I would approach, and a few things is like, one of the things is, do you have enough of the quantities? Like, because you can counter a lot of this stuff, but you eventually run out of units, and one of the things that high level guilds do more than anything else is they will stack the same defenses over and over and over and over again, and they have a lot of the same units built that are just like really disgusting, gross, OP siege defenses, and you're like, I ran out of counters. Like, I had 2 counters of that team, and now I have to hit that team like 10 times? Are you kidding me? Like, you just run out of counters. That's one of the big things. And also Light Dark Net. This list is both of these lists are very missing a couple Light Dark Nat 5s. Also boomerangs, not boomerangs, but the twins too. For the 4 stars at least, twins have some viability. And I think the Light Fairy Queen. Actually, I have a nice Light Fairy Queen defense of Light Fairy Queen, Dark Sylphid, and Orion, which does pretty well because you get first turn, you will strip and defense break a random target, and then you will just nuke for ignore defense. So it potentially takes out something first. And I didn't see that on, I saw the Akari's over here, but I think she's more relevant, especially the Light Fairy Queen too, because you see a lot of speed leads here. But Light Fairy Queen, speed lead plus immunity plus attack buff plus cleanse plus stun and attack break. Like, she's a very relevant, in my opinion. She's a very relevant unit that you could absolutely. She's one of the better units for a siege, in my opinion. So anyway, so let's get it started. I will talk about some of the relevant teams, or the teams that I would use, and then if you guys have input on any of these teams in the comments below, let me know. Let everyone know. Maybe I'm sure you guys teach me some stuff sometimes, so no worries there. So anyway, what do we have for this first team? Susana, Orion, Garo. Let's see what we could, like, let's see, okay, can we Lucian, can we cleave, can we Bulldozer Copper? Yes, you can cleave this. You can cleave this with Shield Will Julie team, I think is a common thing to cleave this with. I don't know what people usually use for the third one, but you could absolutely cleave this with both Shield Will, because Orion can't strip everything, so for Orion being the only stripper, I would say Orion Shield Will Julie is how I would approach that. But Shield Will on Julie is not the great, because Julie gets less damage out when she takes some damage, right? She hits less, but Shield Will Julie is how I would approach this, because you're getting turn 2 anyway. And I think that's how other people approach this too. This second one here, I think this one has gotten me before. I would say maybe Maybe even Jolton and... What would I hit with this? Like maybe Jolton, Raccoony, and Water Frankenstein? I feel like that might actually be what I would hit that with. I feel like it might be. Because then we have the defense break, we have the heal block, we have a target for this this light Magic Knight. But yeah, I've lost to this one as well. You could also, I mean, you could outspeed and you could do like a Susano Konamiya Lucian, but you're still gonna get outsped with this for the most part. Then what do we have for this one? What do we have for this one? Can't we use for this third one? Can't we use this the Surtur now? Because we could use the Surtur. We can also use a Varus. We could also probably Susano Konamiya Lucian that as well. For this fourth one, for this Galleon Frigate and this Dark Kung Fu Girl, this is actually a really this is a really RNG defense. Like this is a pretty hardcore. I feel like these are the tougher defenses, the tougher 4-star defenses than these ones. Like these ones seem to be easier to beat than those. But I would go maybe like Shield Will, right? Of course. Because you're not going to outspeed that. You're not going to outspeed that. So I'd probably go Shield Will and maybe the Light Golem or something. The Light Golem and hope RNG is on your side. Maybe the Light Golem and Jolton. But yeah, that's a really tough one. I'm gonna be honest. Like that one is a really tough defense to beat unless RNG like fails them. But Shield Will, or you could just Shield Will anything, like Shield Will Galleon and 2 DPS units and like roll the dice, be like, let's see how often Faye ignores defense, because it's not 100%. So she would need to either proc, it depends on if she's violent or not, but she would need to proc and into her strip. She can proc into her strip too, but it's a really hardcore defense. Really, really nice. Although RNG, you'll if you hit it enough with the same Shield Will team, you'll beat it anyway. What do we have for this one? So you can still outspeed for this Kamoon, Grego, and Iris. You can still outspeed this. I like for some of these teams, I actually like to take Vertiheal and like sometimes I'll take Vertiheal, Hua, and either Orion or Bella or something like that, and just keep one unit on lockdown, like just completely on lockdown. It's kind of nice. So yeah, Vertiheal, Orion, and Hua. You can keep one unit on lockdown, like the defense breaker or the healer. I probably would go for Iris first. Iris is gonna be easier to kill, and then try to keep the Grego on lockdown, and then worry about the Kamoon last. But I've actually, yeah, because you can't. I mean, you can outspeed this easy, but you can also take a bunch of other stuff too. You can start taking, like you can take Bulldozer into this, like Bulldozer and Messity Raccoony probably. Then what do we have for this next one? The next one doesn't really have a lot of strips, so I feel like you can chilling this all day. You can do like the same thing. Like I don't, for whatever reason, I like to use Hua against Grego because that basically says he's not really gonna get a turn. So not a lot of people have like 250 speed Gregos. Some do, some do. But I feel like chilling definitely, like maybe chilling even Hua and what else would I use? Some kind of healer that has some sustain. Like maybe even Emma might not be bad. No, she doesn't have a defense break. You need a defense break. But you can just keep things on lockdown. Like you can keep this beta on lockdown, or you can even just kill this Grego and then just keep beta on lockdown. Hua's actually really good for that. Same thing. You can with this team, this next team, this team number 7, I guess. You can Hua that as well. I just keep talking about Hua, but they have no strip on here. There's another thing. Like with the beta one, you at least have the immunity, but for this other one with the Kamoon, Grego, and Raccoony, you can Julie that. Right, so we gotta think like, can you Lucian? No, you're not gonna Lucian. Can you cleave? Yes, you can cleave that. Can you Bulldozer Copper? You can bulldoze that because they don't have any revives, so you can bulldoze it. You can like Bulldozer Emessity and your own Raccoony onto that, which is not bad because they're not gonna get turn 1. Raccoony's never ruined with Swift. For the 8th team with Kamoon, Grego, and the Light Puppy, again, there's no strip. So you can just cleave it. You can just Galleon and 2 DPS and cleave it that way. Any big 2 DPS big nukers. And that should be fine. Because they can't get a defense break on you. There's 2 defense breakers. They're not gonna do enough damage with Shield Will, right? On your team. What do we have for this one? For this 9th one with the Darien, I don't see how this is really much of a threat though. Like, I feel like you're just chilling that and maybe a Diaz, because a lot of people have Diaz, so it's nice. Diaz and chilling, defense break. You got the, and then you can even like Emma or something else. I'm just trying to think of like common like things that people might just have laying around there. But yeah, you can absolutely chilling against this. And then Diaz can tank the defense breaks, and Diaz is usually super tanky, and then you have the resistance lead. And he's got a defense break of his own, so I think that team should be fine. Just chilling in Diaz and something else that's going to maybe provide a secondary defense break. Or I think Emma's some kind of defense buff and shield, just in case, and heal is not bad. Plus the second strip. You don't need the second strip on Emma. Anyway, that's just the thing that you can use for that. You can use that for that. And then we have, I think, like the Iris one, man. The Anubis Orion Iris is tricky, and then the Frigate and Fae is tricky. Those are like the trickiest ones for me. And then we have a lot of revives here for this one with the Fire and Light Puppies and Beta. You can use the Water Puppy Dog for this. The Water Anubis. So you can use like Chilling, Water Anubis, and something else. Maybe if you want to bring some support in there, but I feel like I would just take the same team. I feel like Chilling is really, really strong against Beta, and really, really strong against the Fire Anubis. So, also, no, there's the cleanse too, but yeah, that's not too bad. For this other team, what do we have here? This Light BK, Orion, and Iris. I think Jolton is actually strong against this team. Because Light BK or Diaz, like those are just targets for light units. And Diaz, between the resistance lead and potentially crit resist and things like that, that's not bad. So maybe like Diaz, maybe I would take Diaz, Rakuni, just to cleanse all the stuns, because there's going to be a lot of stuns and stuff. So maybe Diaz, Rakuni, and any DPS unit that's not like fire should be fine. Because they're going to keep you on lockdown, but it should be fine with that. Depends on what kind of DPS you want to use, right? But those I want to say Phrasevog, that light BK is not going to be super tanky. Generally not going to be super tanky. And then what do we have for this last team? Last team, I feel like I would like you can outspeed that though. You can outspeed that. So maybe I would do Susano, Konamiya, Lucian. Because no one's going to be on Swift. Everyone's going to be on either Despair or Violence. So you can go Susano, Konamiya, Lucian and use a super squishy, super slow, juicy Lucian. And he should be able to take care of the Anubis, and he should be able to take care of the Iris as well, and then use Susano and Konamiya to deal with the Water Anubis. And Susano will reduce the attack gauge and do enough damage to burst through the shield with the attack power buff, even without a defense break. So should be able to, and keep him kind of somewhat on lock between the speed lead and the attack gauge reduction. And Konamiya keeps cycling through turns. Hopefully, he keeps stunning the Anubis as well. But I think that's what I would take into that team. What do we have next? Oh, 14 minutes already! Oh my god! Oh my god! So keep this in mind. Can you Lucian? Can you Shield Will Cleave with like Galleon? Can you Bulldozer or Copper? Another common team is Susano, Konamiya, Lucian. Rang Megan, Lucian, Copper, Bulldozer. Can you bomb it? Can you Malaka or bomb it? Can you use potentially the Fire BK, because he's pretty interesting nowadays for 4-star siege towers. Can you Julie Cleave? I think a lot of Julies is going to be... You see there's a lot of fire stuff here that you can definitely Julie. You can definitely use Julie on. Can you maybe even Water Frankenstein? Because Water Frankenstein is a nice unit because he can't be defense broken. And there's a lot of fire threats because they want to be anti-Lucian. So a lot of times you'll be able to use that. Another common teams for those are for 4 stars anyway. Then common teams for like for 5-star towers are can you like the Sarion Theo things. So anyway, also Light Golem is pretty nice. Light Golem underrated. And Hua Vertiheal, I think I might be the only person that uses Hua Vertiheal, but I like to use Hua Vertiheal. And then the Water Anubis is very cool for some of these 4-star towers as well. So let's take a look at these. Here we have this one. We have Death Prevention with Huadam. Then we have a lot of crazy, ridiculous heals with Chasun. I think these ones are actually easier, in my opinion, than the other ones. This one actually I would Orang Megan Lucian. I would have maybe Orang Speed Tune, because Orang's got a good leader skill, right? I would maybe have Orang Speed Tune to go a little bit before Lucian so that Megan goes first, because they're not getting the first turn, right? So I'd maybe go Orang onto the Huadam with the 3rd skill, do some fluff damage, come in with Lucian. Lucian's going to kill both Huadam and Faye, and then you just have to deal with the Chasun. So that's probably what I would do in this situation for this one. For this one, again, I feel like, didn't we just say, didn't we see this in the last thing that I said I would chilling that? Because beta is just works to your advantage when you start using chilling, right? So you could chilling, and then you can use, you can even use, I love to use Hua. So chilling in a Hua also buffs, chilling will buff Hua's damage because chilling buffs the speed and the crit rate as well. And then she's got a crit rate leader of 19%, I believe. So those two, and then you don't even need, you kind of don't even need a defense break for that. Eventually you'll just kill this and then keep her on lockdown. But I just go in without a defense break and I don't even worry about it. Or you can Orion, or you can do a bunch of other stuff. You can Orion, you can Bella, you can Emma, you can do things like that. For this team, I think, didn't we mention it before in the other one? That I would just Julie that. Galleon Julie Cleave. So Galleon Julie and another DPS thing to shield will be synced. Isn't bad. Because they don't have any strips here. This one, I feel like I would do the same thing. Because Orion's gonna, maybe he'll RNG, get the best of you, but Jubel I don't feel like is really too much of a crazy threat though. I think I would just still Galleon Julie this. Again, Galleon Julie this. Again, Galleon Julie this. Again, Galleon. No, I actually wouldn't take Galleon and Julie into this. I would take Susano, Orion, Garo. I would take this team into this one. And then you can basically nuke something. You basically nuke this guy off. And then potentially this off as well. Or whoever gets the defense break, right? Whoever gets the defense break might be your first target, but I would say he'll be squishy. You could use this team against this and take something out, because you're more likely to get the first turn when you have a better speed lead. So that's what I would use for that. And then you have stuns and you have attack gauge reduction to deal with her. Man, I'm seriously, Susanna's great. This one, I would use a Light Golem against this. I would use a Light Golem because Light Golem's going to tank all the ignore defense from this Ikaris. And then I would use some kind of defense break supportive unit and a water DPS. You can even use something like Ryan. I mean, a lot of people don't build Ryan, but and Ryan, R-Y-A-N, not Orion. You could use the Ryan. You can also Ryan is the water Trevor, water Neostone fighter. You can also bomb this too. What else can you do? You can also bulldozer this. You could do a lot of stuff to this. You could do a really lot of stuff to this. I don't know why this is this is one of the easier teams. Again, let's talk about bombs again. You can bomb this. You can bomb this, or you can use a water DPS. But there's no cleanse, so you can easy bomb here. This last one does have a cleanse though. So what can we do here? We could probably Susano. Actually, we can. I was gonna say we can Susano Konamiya Lucian that one. But Garo might be really annoying if he's super fast. Because you could take care of the first two. Because no one's going to be on Swift here, right? Well, I mean, Gemini might be on Swift. But if he's on Swift, then he's not on Despair. So you don't really have to worry too much if you use Susano, Konamiya, and Lucian. So, the only issue with that is I'm trying to think of who's a water unit that has multi-hits. That is a leader. I guess the water Anubis wouldn't be bad here too. So maybe I would do water Anubis, Megan Lucian, water Anubis, Megan, something like that. Well, water Anubis, Konamiya Lucian. This way the water Anubis deals with the Garo. Also the what's his face? Because he's multi-hit and he's got element advantage. Also, Ryan will deal with the Garo as well. Again, the water Neos don't fight because he's got a multi-hit. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. The Fire Surtur, the Fire BK, is potentially not bad against some of these. So, like I said, Water Anubis, Fire BK are nice against some of these ones that have like the revives or the passive death prevention. I'm surprised there's not more Trianas in here, actually. To be honest, because I know doesn't Malicious like to use Trianas? Triana and Garo and this Fire Dice Magician, stuff like that. Anyway, what do we have next? 5 stars, 5-star towers. This one is a pain. I think I saw Snow SW, using a bomb team, Malaka against this, like Okeanos Wusa Malaka, and it worked. So I kind of want to try that. I don't have a Wusa, but I mean, like, I might use like a Chloe or something. So that's interesting. I think what I was taking into this is like you can Tiana Galleon Zaros this as well. You can also do. I think what I was taking is I was taking Fire Anubis. You can Rocky this. You can Water Anubis this. Avaris, that's his name, Avaris. So if I was going to go for the Water Anubis, I would go for Perna first, and then there's no revive, and then you just have to... The thing is, you need to kind of have something to revive your units, because the Water Anubis will give himself the death prevention as well, and so will Rocky, but you know Molong, the Molong proc, so I would probably have a reviver in there too. But that's probably what I would do for that. I think I was taking the Fire Anubis with Orion with Perna into here. And it was working. It's such a dumb team though, but it was working. And that's I'm sorry, but I think that's what I was taking into this team. Also, I know people will use the Harmonia as a Molong counter. I know people will use the Fire Mummy as a Molong counter. But I like the death prevention, like, because you have 2 sources of DPS, right? It's tanky enough to survive everything, but just the Perna's super squishy, right? Perna's super squishy. So as long as you can take Perna out with something like Rocky or with something like Avaris, then you only have 1 source of damage. He does have the insane violent proc nonsense to deal with, but you could just do that. I have not faced the Wind Druid though in this team. So, I would have to see. I'm just going by the Eladriel version. I have not ever faced the Wind Druid in this team, though. What do we have for this one? For this one, I think I would just Susano Konamiya Lucian. Because then you have the Speed Leader with a Swift Konamiya. So that's going to take care of the Bastet and... because we're talking Juicy Lucian, so that's going to take care of these 2. Then we're going to do a little bit of damage to Harmonia. She might cut in, and she'll do her flippy floppy, swippy switchies for the health. And then I would come in and I would Susano and Konamiya against her. And she might take out the Lucian, but whatever. I can't use it for that. I can't use it for other stuff anyway. So what do we have here? For this one, I would Chilling all day. All day, all day. This says Chilling all over it. This says, please, use Chilling! Chilling, and what else? Chilling plus a defense buffer. I like to bring Chilling with a defense buffer, and some kind of tanky bruiser with a defense break. So that's what I would do for this one. I like to use my personal favorite is Feng Yan, Chilling, and Mihail for this team. I know not everyone has Feng Yan and Mihail. I'm just saying my personal favorite for this team is this type of team. I will hit this all day. Like, I will seek out these teams like that, and I'll be like, yes, I'm going to do that. For this team, we have, I would do, again, a Cleave with Galleon, and then Water DPS is going to be really strong here, too. For this with the Orion, For the Ethna, I would probably Susano Orion Lucian. I mean, Susano Konamiya Lucian, something like that. For this. And then the Susano and Konamiya will deal with this this puppy. And then the Lucian... I mean, Theomars could Violent Proc and go crazy, but I think I would still take that into that. So... Or I would just pay to win it. And I would be like, hey, let's go Molong, Perna, and Triana in auto. Like, maybe I would do something like that, but I'm just trying to think of, like, a more attainable team. For this one, you can outspeed this. What the hell? I'm getting some weird notifications here. For this one, you can outspeed this. Because they don't have a speed lead. Or... you can, like, and as long as you outspeed, you can basically take out Orion. He's usually not, sometimes. You know what? This could be like a violent will Orion with like super, maybe not super tanky, because you still want speed on too, right? But what would I take into this? I think I would still lose. Well, you can oh, you know what? You could just bulldoze this. You could just bulldozer this. With the leader skill, you could just like bulldozer Messity and Rakuni this. Actually, I'm overthinking it. I really am. For this one, what do we have here? For this one, see, the interesting thing is here that you don't see right off the bat. Ciara, Bastet, and Eladriel. Okay, they don't have strips. GG, if they outspeed you, just shield will cleave. Eladriel will always use turn 1, and he will always strip your will runes, and she will bomb your unit. The thing is, though, you can still do a... Like, I would still try to outspeed this. I really would. I really would still try to outspeed this, though. I would still try to outspeed this in Lucian. Because Bastet's base speed is like 99, and this is a 24% speed leader. So if you have like a Kabila... there's a good chance you're going to be able to outspeed like a Kabila, Konamiya, and Lucian. And you should be fine. So. I don't know about this Wind Druid, though. I have not faced him. At all. At all. Or maybe like once in Arena. For this Feng Yan team. Feng Yan, Camila, and Sekhmet. What you can do is... What I would probably do is I would probably Bastet, Ikaris, and Molong. And I would take out either the Feng Yan or the Sekhmet first, and then I would just worry about the Camila later, right? Because I get the turn 1 with the Bastet. I feel very confident in the speed of my Bastet compared to like a Sekhmet. Even though they're both poo-poo speed, but I just feel confident with the speed of mine. And then I would Molong 3rd skill, and then Ikari's 3rd skill into something to one-shot something for pure damage. No defense check or anything, but that's what I would do. I think like a more free-to-play friendly version of that might be... well, there's actually another thing that I would maybe use against this. You can use Tessarion, Theomars, and Chasun, or Tessarion, Theomars, and Triana against this. Because there's 2 with passives. So you have big DPS, and then with Tessarion's leader skill, resistance, and Chasun awakens into resistance. We would hope that Sekhmet isn't going to do any crazy nonsense to Chasun, but that's potentially a team, a second team that I would use against that. Also, if you have Ciara, you can basically just Ciara and then outspeed mechanic of some kind, and then as long as you strip 1 unit first, you bomb that. And then you don't even need a second, but you don't even need like a Ciara, Malaka, Tiana, whatever. You can just use... I mean, you can use that too. But you don't really even need to do that, because you can just bomb them one at a time. Right? So. But I think the people that have Ciara know that. Damn you. Ciara monkeys. So what do we have here? But those are a few different teams to counter that. For this one, this says Rocky all over it. This Nagong with this other stuff. This says outspeed and Rocky burst damage, kill something, doesn't revive. I would not take Avaris into this because Avaris is squishy and will be Ritesh food. You could also probably... You could probably Lucian this though. You can probably like Swift Megan and then well, Nagang could be Nemesis though. That's the thing. You can also bulldoze this. You can also bulldozer Immensity and Rakuni on this. I'm like getting so like I'm getting like, well, you could, and I'm trying to pick apart anyway. So you could do a few different things. But I would use Rakuni if I'm going to use bulldozer with this, like bulldozer Immensity Rakuni. I would go for Nagang first. Maybe he's you don't know how Nagang's rune though. Like Nagang could be, and it's in Light Dark Knight 5. So it could be someone that's like, yo, I got super awesome runes on my Nagang because he's my pride and joy. He's my only Light Dark Knight 5. Could be dangerous. The thing is with the Light Magic Knight, I would say if I was going to use Rocky, I would go for her first because she's a Nat 4. She doesn't have as high base HP as, I think she's got like 98 something base HP if I remember correctly, whereas Ritesh has like 13,000 base HP. So it's a big difference. As soon as you start stacking HP on top of that, plus the HP leader skill, that Ritesh is going to have a super ton of HP. But I would probably go either Rocky into this. Like I said, sometimes you actually do want to use Rocky. I know a lot of people don't like her, but sometimes Rocky is the choice for that. Or I would use either... You can still Lucian this, though. You can do some kind of fluff damage that's not maybe going to trigger Nagang's passive. And usually... Unless we're talking about like someone in Malicious and their Iris, they're usually not going to outspeed your Swift set. When you're fighting Malicious, it's a totally different story. When you're fighting like one of the top 10 guilds, it's a totally different story because they'll be like, oh yeah, I have a 270 speed Despair Revenge Iris. And then you are like, oh, well, I'm going to die. I'll just be in my bathroom crying in the toilet. So, we do have that. But yeah, you can... I wouldn't say Julie for fluff damage. I would say something else for fluff damage, like a fire or, like I wonder. Hold on, I've never even tried this, but I wonder if like you could Rocky, Megan, Lucian, like Megan buff the attack gauge and the attack power, and then Rocky do her little fluff damage, and then come in and Lucian to finish it off. And if worst case scenario, if Nagang gets the revive and the whatever. Then you get his third skill on Rocky anyway. But, good old Rocky. Everyone's like, I don't have a Rocky. I don't have a Rocky. Another thing is, you can still cleave this team. You can still cleave this team as well. And you can just put, generally Iris likes to use, either she'll, let's say, like you could Joltan, you can, Dark, what's his face? Diaz, something like that into that, right? Where they are attracted to that dark unit, and like Joltan, if she keeps going for Joltan, she's just gonna take extra damage. So you can do that, and then you can do fire DPS. I feel like it's not anything really too crazy. And then you can do, like, you can really even like Hua and some kind of support unit there too, like Joltan, Hua, Chasun, even. And just keep something on lockdown. So, or Diaz watch soon, and then hope like you resist a lot of stuff because Diaz leader skill. So, but something that defense breaks, both defense breaks, and then you have the attack buff and heal from Chasun. So you have sustain. You have they're taking a target that is not going to be, you know, none of them are going to target your squishy DPS, which is Hua. And a lot of people have those units built, like Diaz and Hua. And Chasun for R5 and Chasun for all the Chasuni nonsense. For this one, what would I use for this one? So you can outspeed this one, you can fluff damage, and you can Lucian it though. Like I said, Megan, like maybe even Megan, Julie, Lucian. Seems like a thing that you could do. You could bulldoze this. I would also use Bulldozer and Rakuni if you're gonna bulldoze that. Same thing with the third one. I feel like you can do either one. You can both. Because I wouldn't cleave this because Molong's got usually violent runes and he's got the strip. So I really don't like to take cleave into Molong, especially when it's like Molong on violent, then Ritesh on violent, and like you don't know who's gonna destroy you with that, right? So possibly I would take either Megan, fluff damage, Lucian, or I would even take maybe Would I take Susano? I wouldn't take Susano into the first damage. I think I would Megan Fluff damage Lucian on that first team. And then for the second team, I'd probably Bulldozer. I would probably like Bulldozer, Immensity, and hope Bulldozer doesn't die, right? Bulldozer, Immensity, and my own Raccoony. And hope RNG was on our side. I would go for Triana first. And hope we don't die. But also, I wonder how the Fire BK would. That's gonna be Fire BK is gonna be Mo Long Food on that last team. I would just bulldoze that last team. I would bulldoze it and I would fluff damage, Megan Fluff damage Lucian on the on this team. But anyway, I think that's about it. Oh my god. Oh, 35 minutes. I really thought it was gonna be like an hour-long video. But again, these are not based on my things. I was just trying to give input on what I would probably use. I know I probably... What did I miss? Hold on. What did I miss? You know, I didn't say Theomars too much. I'm sure you could Theomars to Sarion and stuff like that for a lot more of these. Also, we didn't even think about the new... I know there's so many teams that I missed. I'm just thinking about like what Jubega would use. But also, I know a lot of you guys don't have a lot of the units I mentioned. Or you might even have better things than me. And really the hardest, again, the hardest ones are not even on the list. The hardest ones are like, there's Tian Lang, there's Yen Hong, there's Ragdoll, there's like all these ridiculous pay to win like Artemil and all these other things that you're like usually not. Because like these ones you see more often, so you're like, oh, I have counters for this, I have counters for that. Those Light Dark Nat 5s, man. Those Light Dark Nat 5s get a little crazy. Those Light Dark... Oh my god, time to buy some Light Dark Scrolls. Hold on. No. Oh, okay. Anyway, leave me your info in the comments. What? If you have suggestions, or not even suggestions, let me know what teams you... How about this? Let me know... This is how I meant to say it. Let me know what teams you guys would use against these defenses. And I'm sure a lot of people would get a lot of appreciated information from them. And possibly, like I said before, I might even learn some stuff. So anyway, and I know a lot of you guys don't have this. A lot of you guys don't have some of the Nat 5s I mentioned, but I'm just trying to tell you how I would personally approach it. If I had different units, if I had your units, I might use, maybe you got something better than what I would use for mine, right? So, oh, also, you know what? These last two Nat 5s, I didn't even realize I would maybe Bastet Molong Akares on some of these too. Maybe, dude, Bastet Molong Akares is such a strong team though. For reals, such a strong team. For reals. Also, Leica, you know what? Leica, Molong can't one-shot Leica. Molong has to hit him multiple times, and that defense, the first skill and second skill aren't enough to hit Leica, right? Aren't enough to kill Leica by themselves. Unless he procs like 5 times, then maybe. But yeah, maybe I would use Leica into those last 2 teams. But on my main, I don't have Leica, and on my baby account, my alt account, I don't really have Leica skilled up. I haven't really played with him enough to know that I would use him in those. But yeah, I guess I would use him for maybe things like that. So anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you guys got something out of it. I will see you as always. Let me know if your teams that you would use, and I will see you as always in the next one. And thank you to Pungback's Parrot and Retho1309 for making the lists.